What if I told you that Home Depot and Lowe's, the same stores you buy light bulbs and mulch from, are now selling actual tiny home kits, and some of them are priced under $20,000? Yeah, you heard that right. But here's the question nobody is answering honestly. Which one is actually worth buying? Because when you dig into the details, the gap between the sticker price and what you will actually spend to move in is enough to make your jaw drop. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you which store wins this battle, and which one is quietly setting you up for a rude awakening. Stay with me the whole way through, because the answer might not be the one you were expecting. If you're new here, this channel is where we break down tiny home living, alternative housing, and DIY builds with real numbers, not fluff. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss a video like this one. Alright, let us get into it. Before we compare these kits head to head, we need to talk about why people are even searching for tiny home kits at Home Depot and Lowe's in the first place. In early 2026, the median U.S. home price was hovering around $395,000. And in many desirable areas, you will not find a starter home for less than $500,000. That is not a typo. And mortgage rates have not exactly been your friend either. So it makes total sense that millions of Americans are asking, is there another way? And the answer is yes, but it comes with some serious caveats. Tiny home kits are real. You can buy them online. But what is inside that price tag is where things get complicated. So let us start with Home Depot, because they have been making the biggest noise in this space. Home Depot has quietly built out an entire category on their website called Tiny Home Frame Kits. Right now, they have dozens of listings from brands like Frame Up Now, Studio Shed, Bedrock Building Group, Restriel, and Windoors. Prices range from a few $1,000s all the way up to over $100,000 for the bigger ADU models. For this video, we are staying under $20,000, so let us talk about what you can actually get in that range. The two standout models under or right around $20,000 from Home Depot are called the Seattle and the California, both from the brand Plus One Homes. And there is a third model worth watching, but more on that in a moment. The Seattle, 200 square foot steel frame kit. The Seattle is a 10-foot by 20-foot steel frame tiny home kit. That gives you 200 square feet, which is small but workable. The kit includes panelized steel framing, preliminary architectural plans, hardware, stamped structural engineering plans, a .75 bathroom layout, meaning a toilet, sink, and shower are designed into the plan. In 2026, due to steel surcharges, the Seattle and the California have crept up in price. You will find them listed between $14,000 and $22,000, depending on configuration. Both still carry a 50-year warranty on the steel panels. They do offer design consultations to help you modify the layout for a nominal fee or, in some cases, included in the package price. Ask before you assume it is free. But, and this is a critical but, the Seattle is a steel frame only. There is no siding, no roofing, no windows, no doors, no insulation, no interior finishes. Nothing. You are buying the skeleton of a house. The California, 240 square foot steel frame kit. The California steps it up to 240 square feet with pre-assembled steel panels for slightly easier installation. Same deal, 50-year warranty on the steel, and the same range of $14,000 to $22,000 applies here in 2026. Again, no exterior finishes, no interior finishes, no plumbing, no electrical. Pure structure. The Chill Out, the 2026 favorite to watch. Now, there's a new model generating serious buzz in 2026 called the Chill Out one-bed steel frame kit. It starts around $22,999. Yes, that is just over our $20,000 ceiling. But it deserves a mention because it includes more robust framing engineered for higher snow loads, which makes it a much stronger contender in cold weather climates. It is the 2026 community favorite for ADU conversions. And if your budget stretches even slightly past $20,000, this is the one to have on your radar. The Rose Cottage, the bigger option. Home Depot also sells the Rose Cottage 2-bed, 1-bath kit at 444 square feet for around $26,499, well over our $20,000 limit. But it is one of the few kits in their lineup that comes with more than just framing. If your budget can stretch, it is worth a look as a more complete starting point for a guest house or ADU. What Home Depot gets right. 1. The steel frame construction is genuinely impressive. Steel is pest-resistant, fire-resistant, and built to last far longer than wood framing in most climates. If you are building something meant to survive decades, this matters. 2. The engineering documentation is included. You get stamped structural plans, which is huge when you go to pull permits. Many DIY tiny home builds stall out because getting engineering sign-off is expensive and slow. Home Depot's kits solve that problem, and in 2026, with permit offices getting stricter, this is more valuable than ever. 3. The brands sell direct, but fulfill through Home Depot's platform, so you have some buyer protection and a familiar checkout experience. What Home Depot gets wrong? The marketing on these kits is misleading for most buyers. The listings have beautiful photos of finished tiny homes, gleaming kitchens, stylish interiors, cozy bedrooms. But what you're buying is a bare steel frame. None of that is included. Here is a realistic breakdown of what you will spend on top of the kit to actually move in. Foundation, concrete slab, $4,000 to $8,000. Siding, roofing, windows, doors, $5,000 to $12,000. Insulation and interior finishes, $4,000 to $10,000. Plumbing and electrical rough-in, $8,000 to $20,000. Utility hookups and trenching, $5,000 to $15,000 if the structure is far from the main house. Permits and impact fees, $1,500 to $8,500 depending on your state. California and Washington are on the high end. Do the math. A $16,000 Seattle kit could easily end up costing $40,000 to $60,000 all in before you sleep a single night inside it. That is still a fraction of a traditional home, but it is a far cry from the sticker price. Also, before you even buy, Home Depot requires you to download the preliminary plans, get them approved by your local building authority, and send back any required corrections to the manufacturer before purchase. This is not a one-click process. It is a real project. Now let us talk about Lowe's. And here's where I have to be brutally honest with you. Lowe's is playing a very different game than Home Depot. Lowe's does not have a dedicated tiny home kit category the way Home Depot does. In 2026, they have actually pivoted away from calling things tiny homes altogether. Their focus now is on backyard studios and home care plus services. They are not trying to sell you a house. They are selling you a lifestyle space. And that distinction matters. What Lowe's offers today falls into 3 categories, and only one of them could honestly be called a path to a tiny home living under $20,000. Option 1. The Palram Copenhagen Shed, $13,500 to $15,000. This is Lowe's most talked about near tiny home product. The Canopia by Palram Copenhagen is a polycarbonate studio shed measuring 9 feet by 11 feet, that is 99 square feet. In 2026, it is marketed primarily as a garden office kit, not a home. And honestly, that framing is more accurate. What makes it interesting? Triple wall polycarbonate construction with insulation built in, floor-to-ceiling windows for natural light. It looks like a high-end custom studio. WPC walls designed to support hidden wiring for electricity, internet, and even plumbing. Double doors with a built-in lock. Modern, sleek design that genuinely looks like an expensive custom build. The price has stabilized in 2026 at around $13,500 to $15,000 at Lowe's, which keeps it in our under $20K window. Here is the honest review from a real buyer. One person assembled it with 2 friends in 4 full days and said the instructions were good, but occasionally confusing. Her final verdict? She would buy and build it again. It is beautiful. Great value for the money. But 99 square feet is tiny even by tiny house standards. Living in it full-time would be a serious lifestyle commitment, and it does not come with plumbing pre-installed. You would need to add that yourself. Option 2. The shed conversion route. Lowe's also sells large barn-style and cabin-style shed kits that the tiny house community has embraced as conversion projects. The log cabin-style kits that went viral a couple of years back, often all wood brand or similar, are a community favorite, but fair warning. In 2026, availability is inconsistent. These regularly go in and out of stock or get sold through third-party marketplaces. If you see one available, check carefully whether it is Lowe's direct or a third-party seller, because return policies and quality control can vary significantly. The conversion concept is real and proven. Builders have turned these into full living spaces, loft bedrooms, home offices, cozy studios. The directions are generally praised as easy to follow, and many buyers have completed their build in a few weeks with zero prior construction experience. The catch: these are storage sheds, not homes. They do not always include doors or windows. They need a foundation. They need permits. And living in a shed, even a beautifully converted one, is restricted or outright illegal in many jurisdictions. Always check your local zoning laws before spending a single dollar. Option 3. Lowe's Plus Studio Shed, the premium path. Lowe's has partnered with Studio Shed to offer ADU installation services, and in 2026, they have gone deeper on this integration. Studio Shed's configurator is now built directly into Lowe's Pro Services platform, which makes the design process genuinely easier than it used to be. Studio Shed has been building prefab panelized kits since 2009, ranging from 80 to 1,000 square feet and meeting building codes nationwide. A 200 square foot unit in 2026 runs closer to $28,000 to $32,000 for the shell alone, which puts it over our $20,000 budget, but it is by far the most complete and code-compliant path Lowe's offers. Studio Shed provides permit plan sets, coordinates with local contractors, and handles the design process from site assessment through installation. The Home Care Plus angle. One genuinely interesting 2026 development at Lowe's is their Home Care Plus subscription service, which now covers maintenance for backyard studio structures. That is something Home Depot has not matched yet. If you are building a rental property or ADU and want ongoing maintenance covered, this is worth factoring into your total cost of ownership calculation. What Lowe's gets right. Lowe's wins on aesthetics at the entry level. The Palram Copenhagen looks like something out of an architectural magazine at a fraction of custom build prices. If you want a stunning backyard studio or office for under $16,000, Lowe's is the move. The shed conversion community is also enormous. There are entire YouTube channels, Reddit threads, and social media communities dedicated to Lowe's shed-to-home conversions. The how-to knowledge base is deep and freely available, and the Studio Shed partnership gives Lowe's a legitimate path to certified, permitted ADU construction, something that goes beyond what most big box stores offer. What Lowe's gets wrong. Lowe's is not transparent about what they are and are not selling. If you go to their website looking for a tiny home kit, you will feel confused. There is no clean category page. You are hunting through sheds, garden studios, and ADU services trying to piece together what fits your needs. And critically, none of Lowe's true under $20K options come close to being a livable home without significant additional work and investment. Copenhagen is a garden studio. The shed kits are sheds. You're building your way to a home from those starting points. Alright, let us put these two stores side by side in the categories that actually matter. Price out of the box. Home Depot wins here on raw square footage per dollar. Their Seattle kit in the $14,000 to $16,000 range gets you 200 square feet of engineered steel structure. Lowe's Copenhagen at $13,500 to $15,000 gets you 99 square feet of polycarbonate studio. For pure structure per dollar, Home Depot delivers more. What is included? This is closer than it looks. Neither Home Depot's frame kits nor Lowe's shed kits include plumbing, electrical, or interior finishes. But Home Depot does include stamped engineering plans, a major advantage in 2026. Lowe's Copenhagen includes an actual floor system and insulation built into the walls. Slide edge to Home Depot for the engineering documentation. Slide edge to Lowe's for the more complete shell. Permits and legality. Home Depot wins here, and in 2026 this gap has widened. Their steel frame kits come with professional stamped engineering plans, which is the single most important document when pulling permits. If your local permit office requires state-stamped structural plans, and more of them do every year, Home Depot's kits are your only realistic option under $20,000. Lowe's shed kits are sold as storage structures, meaning you will likely need to commission your own engineering documents to convert them to permitted living space. Ease of build. Lowe's wins this round. The shed conversion community is massive and well documented. There's a tutorial for nearly everything. The Palram Copenhagen is designed to be owner-assembled with included instructions. Home Depot's steel frame kits involve working with steel stud framing, which is more technically demanding than wood construction. Not impossible for a skilled DIY, but not beginner-friendly. Curb appeal and design. Lowe's wins here, specifically with Copenhagen. That polycarbonate garden studio looks like a luxury backyard office that would cost $40,000 custom built. Home Depot's steel frame kits are basically invisible once you finish them, but the finish is entirely on you, which is either total creative freedom or a heavy burden depending on your skills. True all-in cost. The honest math. Here is the painful truth for both stores. Truly moving into a livable tiny home for under $20,000 is nearly impossible in 2026, no matter which store you choose. With Home Depot, your $16,000 kit plus foundation, exterior finishes, interior work, plumbing, electrical, and permit fees will realistically run you $40,000 to $60,000 all in, depending on your location and how much of the labor you handle yourself. With Lowe's, converting a shed into a livable home requires foundation work, framing upgrades, plumbing, electrical, and permits. A $12,000 shed kit could realistically cost $35,000 to $50,000 to finish legally and comfortably. The $20,000 ceiling is real for the KIT, but the $20,000 ceiling is fiction for the finished home. Anyone who tells you otherwise is either leaving something out or has a very different definition of finished. Alright, here is my verdict, and it is not the simple answer you might have been expecting. If your goal is maximum square footage, engineering documentation, and a solid foundation for a future livable structure, Home Depot wins. Their steel frame kits give you a real, engineered, warranted structure that can be built out into a legitimate tiny home. And in 2026, with permit offices tightening their requirements across the country, those stamped engineering plans that come in the box are worth their weight in gold. If your goal is a stunning, functional backyard studio, home office, or creative space that you can actually use within a few weeks of delivery, Lowe's wins. The Copenhagen looks like it costs 4 times what it does, and the conversion community around Lowe's shed kits means you are never figuring it out alone. And here is the nuanced take that I want to leave you with. In 2026, the real winner depends on your permit office. If your local building department requires state-stamped structural plans, and more of them do every year, Home Depot is your only real path under $20,000. If you're in a more rural or permissive jurisdiction and just want a beautiful space to stealth convert your own pace, Lowe's aesthetics win every time. My overarching advice: be a smart buyer. Go in with eyes open. Budget at least double your kit price for total move-in cost. Check your local zoning laws before you spend a single dollar. And do not let a beautiful product photo convince you that a steel skeleton is a house. Before I close this out, here are 3 things that will save you serious time, money, and heartache. 1. Call your local building department first. Not after you buy. Before. Ask specifically about tiny home kits, ADU regulations, and what engineering documentation they require. Ask whether they accept third-party stamp plans or require local engineering review. Some areas are incredibly tiny home friendly. Others will shut you down on day 1. Know before you go. 2. Budget for the full build, not just the kit. Use this rough formula. Take the kit price, double it, then add 15% for surprises in 2026. Materials and labor costs are still elevated. That is a realistic starting point for your all-in budget. 3. Decide your use case before you shop. Are you building a full-time home, a guest house, a rental, a studio, a backyard office? Your answer should drive which kit you buy. A 99 square foot Copenhagen is perfect for a studio or workspace. A 200 square foot steel frame kit makes more sense for a guest house or ADU. And if you are in a snowy climate, that new chill-out model from Home Depot at just over $22,000 might be worth stretching your budget for the heavier-duty framing. Matching the kit to the use case is the difference between a smart investment and a regret you pay for twice. So there you have it, the honest, unfiltered breakdown of Home Depot versus Lowe's on tiny home kits for under $20,000 in 2026. Home Depot has the engineering edge. Lowe's has the aesthetics edge. Neither one delivers a complete tiny home for under 20 grand, but both can be the starting point of something incredible if you go in with realistic expectations and a real budget. If this video helped you, drop a like. It takes 2 seconds, and it genuinely helps this channel grow. And if you're seriously considering building a tiny home, subscribe because we go deep on builds, budgets, permits, and everything in between. And let me know in the comments, are you Team Home Depot or Team Lowe's? And what is your budget for your tiny home build? I read every single comment. I will see you in the next one.